I'm going to break down the history of Ireland and taking in Jewish refugees. I have to do this because despite that I speak a bit of Hebrew, have a very distant Jewish heritage, it just makes me really, really sad that Orthodox Jewish rabbis are constantly promoting racism and propaganda against indigenous Irish people and are completely lying about our history regarding whether it's World War II or Jewish refugees in general. It just makes me so sad. I don't know what is more sad. The kibbutz massacres, which there was Irish people living in, or to see the Jewish world turn against Irish people when we've been asking for their support during this dark and difficult time. So anyway, to begin with, during World War II, we knew in the 30s that life was difficult for Jewish people under the Nazi regime. We didn't fully know about the death camps until 1942. The death camps started in 1939, which was a few years after there was death camps for disabled people, I think, in 1934. Eamon de Valera, the leader of Ireland at the time, not only did he put the right to be Jewish in the Irish Constitution, it is reported that he wanted to take in 10,000 Jewish refugees, but he couldn't. There was, of course, political resistance at home. Ireland does have an anti-Semitism problem. A very particular sector of Irish society are very anti-Semitic, but let's just say that some of them are being excommunicated at the moment. But also, we couldn't take in too many refugees because the Germans were blocking refugees from escaping and coming to Ireland. And there's also the practical point. Ireland is a small island with a history of war, famine, and ethnic division. It's not wise to take in thousands of refugees. It's just not wise, right? Look at the situation we have now. Prices through the roof, people being stabbed and decapitated. Jewish people don't stab or decapitate people. One of the things I appreciate about Jewish culture is that they generally don't do violent crime like that. But we're getting quite tired of all this racist abuse that we're getting from the Jewish Congress of Europe and Orthodox Jewish rabbis. So, due to all those problems I just mentioned there, Ireland only took in about 100 Jewish refugees officially. Unofficially, we took in about 400 to 900 Jewish refugees who came here illegally, and there was no mass movement to deport them. Right now in Ireland, there's a mass movement to deport illegals and people who come here illegally and people who do illegal things because the refugee crisis is so extreme. But typically we don't try to deport Jewish people. Because why would you want to, if Jewish people came here illegally, why would you want to deport them? They're not running around with machetes stabbing people. So, the racism from the Orthodox Jewish rabbis is extremely irritating, but ordinary Jewish people tend not to be violent. So, and Ireland was neutral for a reason. I could do another video on why Ireland was neutral, but the official reason why Ireland was neutral is because we didn't have a fully functioning army, like Ireland doesn't have a fully functioning army right now. And across the island, 135,000 Irish people, 100,000 coming from what we now call the Irish Republic, worked for the Allies, just my grandfather. So we actually have a massive monument dedicated towards all the Irish people that contributed to fighting in World War I and II. So I'm not tolerating any Jewish person being racist towards indigenous Irish people regarding our record in World War II, because Israel didn't fight in World War II. Right? So but I have a competition. Who does more? Irish people helping Jews or Jews helping Irish people? Ireland is the land of saints and scholars. We are the most charitable and helpful and friendly people on the planet, and I'm not accepting any other opinion other than that. So before World War II, there was a massive surge of Jewish people fleeing to Ireland. This didn't cause us any problems at all. But we're talking about thousands. We're talking about 3,000 Jewish people fled to Ireland in the 19th century, mostly coming from Lithuania. Most of them would be Ashkenazi. If you're in Ireland, you mostly only come across Ashkenazi Jews. Don't even know if I've ever met a Sephardi Jew before, and I quite like the Mizrachis. And one Russian Jew set up a bakery that I quite enjoy. So, Mazel Tov. Quite happy with Jewish people coming over to Ireland and setting up bakeries. Great crack. So, yeah, because there was pogroms. There was pogroms all across Europe for, hundreds of years, going back 1,000 years. Ireland had one pogrom and one Jewish person was murdered. We were also under British rule, and while Ireland has been an independent country, no Jewish person has ever been murdered in Ireland. So our record of taking care of Jewish people is much better than most European countries, despite the anti-Semitism is a massive problem, and jihad and the Intifada plagues the public sector and the media. I can go on and on about that. Go to the Liberty Strikes on YouTube. Been covering that quite extensively. So, got Jewish people coming here to flee the pogroms, smaller number coming here to flee the Holocaust. More recently, a few thousand Israelis have made their home in Ireland, and there's actually an increase of Israelis coming to Ireland since the 7th of October massacre and the Gaza war, because Israelis I've spoken to have moved here have said to me, it's like, despite that Ireland is a very anti-Semitic country, it is still safer for Jewish people than even Israel, where someone might kidnap you and put you in a tunnel, right? God bless Israel, but Ireland is still safer for Jews than Israel. So that trend will probably continue. I say Israelis will probably still continue to come to Ireland anyway. And so that's all the official stats that I'm referencing you there. For fun, whether it is completely historically accurate or not, it is fun to look at the Book of Invasions and Unlar Gavala, where it references the fact that the first people to come to Ireland, the first humans to come to Ireland, were the Israelites, and they died of the plague. And then later, the Gaels defeated the Aryan tribe of the Tuatha Danann, and the Gaels were married with Israelites, and we allegedly get the Irish language from the fall of the Tower of Babel. So, we have so many things, so many interesting aspects of Irish culture that is connected with Jewish culture. The biggest one, obviously, being Jesus, our favourite Jew. And the Bible was written by Jews. So, I'd really love it if we could mend the relationship between Irish people and Jewish people. I'd really love it. I would be up for that. But I am still seeing racist anti-Irish propaganda coming from Orthodox Jewish rabbis. And I won't stand for it. I won't stand for it. I will stand up for Jews. I stand up for the Irish people first. Aaron Gabral.